Time, long, long ago, there was this beautiful place called Kanakapura. As the name suggests, it is land of gold. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests. The place was ruled by a king called Kanakaraj. And the place was covered by huge mountains and deep valleys, with a huge river flowing down the valley. The king was considered to be the most wealthiest person because he had hoards of gold with him. The people of the city were also equally rich, but they had enough and more gold, and their crops were also very good. But they had one major problem that used to bother them day and night. Mr. Toastmaster, can you guess what the problem could be? Can you guess what the problem could be when they had everything so plenty?
No water.
The problem was mosquitoes. They had hordes of mosquitoes that used to bite them day in and night. So during the day they were terribly disturbed. And during the night they couldn't sleep at all. So all the people gathered together and they said, they will go to the king and present themselves. They went to the king and pleaded to the king to solve this major problem because their life is becoming terrible for them. The king, though he was very shrewd, very mean and very cunning, he heard the people. And then he made an announcement at the center of the city. He said, anybody who can come forward and solve this problem will be richly rewarded with gold. Days passed, but nobody turned up. But one fine day, one odd-looking man came to the king's court and said, my name is Kalia, and I can solve your problem. And if I solve your problem, what will be my reward? The king said, I'll give you gold. How much? King said, 100 coins, gold coins. Kalia demanded, I want 1,000 gold coins. Reluctantly, the king agreed. That night, Kalia went to the center of the city. He took out his silver flute and started playing on it. Suddenly, sparks came out of the ground, and in no time a huge ball of fire was built. Kalia continued to play on his flute. Hordes and hordes of mosquitoes came out of the houses and from all the nooks and corners of the city. Do you know what happened to later? The mosquitoes literally dived into the fire and committed suicide. The fire raged till sunrise, and all the mosquitoes were destroyed. As the sun rose, the fire subsided and disappeared. Next day, Kalia went to the king and said, I have solved your problem. Where is my reward? The mean and cunning king said, I will give you 100 gold coins. Kalia said, you promised me 1,000 gold coins. Now you are saying 100. I will not accept it. The king got wild. You accept it or I will kill you. Sensing danger to his life, Kalia disappeared in a minute into thin air. Nobody knew where he went, as much as they didn't know from where he came from. Days passed, but there was absolutely no sign of Kalia. One day, there was a big temple festival in the city. All the elders of the city were very busy attending to the temple festival. That day, Kalia appeared on the other end of the town. This time, he took out his golden flute and he started playing on it. All the children, including the Rajkumar, began to run towards the other end of the town. Kalia continued to play and led them to a huge cave outside the town limits. Suddenly, the people in the town realized that all the children are going outside the town. They began to run to stop the children, but they were too late. By that time, Kalia had already led the children into a huge cave. By the time these people could come and catch the children, the door of the cave was shut with a big boulder. All the people and the king were waiting outside the boulder and started shouting, "Kalia, Kalia." What do you think would be the response of Kalia, Mr. Vinod?
Well, he must be asking for 1,000 coins again.
You are partly right. Then Kalia said, "You are a very mean king. When I solved your problem, you refused to pay me, but instead you wanted to kill me. So I wanted to teach a lesson to you. That's why I have done this." Then the king pleaded, "I am very sorry. I'll give back whatever I have promised. Please let the children out." But the Kalia said, "I will not accept $1,000. Now, how much do you think Kalia would have demanded?
1,000.
He wasn't too greedy. He said, "I want double the money. Give me 2,000 gold coins and I will relieve these children." Then the king sent his courtiers and brought 2 bags containing 2,000 gold coins. Kalia said, "You leave them at the entrance of the cave." When Kalia could make out that king really did leave 2,000 gold coins at the entrance, he said, "You can go and collect your children from the valley." The king and the people rushed to the valley. They were very happy to see the children fine and healthy. They took their children and they were going back to the house. They came near the cave. What do you think they would have seen near the cave? Mosquitoes are all dead, yeah.
2,000 gold coins there.
No.
No, you can.
The 2 bags containing gold coins were missing. But the door of the cave remained shut with a big boulder. Then the king and the people shouted, "Kalia, Kalia." Was there any response?
No.
Yes, there was no response. Nobody knew where Kalia disappeared. From there they went back to the village. So what did they see in the village? They went and lived happily ever after. Back to you, Mr. Toastmaster.